And the shit you're saying on TV right now on my screen is
Just
not
think, 5 years
shit.
ago, those girls
Like,
were in grade school. I was like, no, they were not. Those girls are older than 17 or 16. I promise they are.
this week on Trees in Space, Jason and I watched the 1999 rated R comedy Basketball. I'm Nate, and with me, as always, is my beautiful co-host Jason. Hey, Jason. I picked this movie off the pure happen chance. I think it came up on my Roku channel list. I was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen that movie since probably 1998. So, uh, yeah, thoughts?
It's I know it's the creators of South Park,
Yes,
and they
sir.
decided to do a movie. They did a movie before this called Orgasmo. In case you didn't know about that,
I did
I
not.
watched that. It was terrible. And of course, I did World Police, and I watched this one. I'm like, okay. And when you suggested to watch it, I rolled my eyes because I was just like, I remember how pathetically stupid this movie was. But
Well, I guess before we continue on, people at home are probably wondering, well, what's it all about?
What's it about?
Well, when Slacker friends Joe Cooper and Doug Reamer are challenged to a pickup basketball game against some jocks, they counter by proposing to play a game they learned called basketball, but they learned it on the streets. That's how they do it on the streets,
the streets.
which combines basketball and baseball. In reality, they are improvising all of the rules, but somehow the sport becomes a hit. The promoter, Ernest Bergnoin, awesome, love that guy, forms a popular league, but after his death, the rival owner, Robert Vaughn, wants to change the rules to increase profits.
It's a basic film. Orange Borgnine, I loved him too. As a matter of fact, I was gonna say he was my favorite part of the movie when I wrote it down. So far, he's the best thing about this movie.
He almost made me throw up.
Especially when he's like, I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too,
All right,
but
everybody gone?
yeah, everybody going, yeah. Dude, I have a question about basketball.
Okay.
Why is it whenever um the beer, the Wisconsin beers or whatever,
Yep.
when they're shooting, the people are never throwing shit in their face.
It's
You know,
true.
if you're allowed to squirt stuff in people's faces while they're shooting, why don't you do it every time they shoot?
Facts.
Just spray them with water hoses. You know, like I mean, apparently you're allowed to physically assault them when they shoot, but only they do it to their opponents. And how come they got to fall over every time? They psyched out so much they lose the bodily function of standing up. What the?
Oh my god, right?
Can't I just
Who
miss it?
told them to do that? That's so freaking dumb. It's awful.
So, it was so because you explained the whole movie. That right there in the nutshell explains the first 30 minutes of this movie. You
Yes.
know how they got because it's like 5 years later, it's now a big sport.
Right.
Um,
And also, to cut you off,
please cut me off.
Jenny McCarthy was barely in this movie. Why is she even on the I guess I get it. She's on 98, so she was the ending of her
Yeah,
peak popularity.
was she a porn star?
Yes.
Okay.
She was also co-host of a dating game show on MTV.
Today because we really have no choice. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Let the women go first? Get real.
Um the date God, I'll drop it.
Okay. I thought was yeah, Yasmin Bleeth, the actual main female love interest. I had a crush on her back in '98. Think she's gorgeous. Um, but I will say, okay, because she was dating Ernest Borgnine's character, and he dies, and he bequeaths his the 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 bear people to Matt Stone's character, not Matt Stone's, but Trey Parker's character, Cooper. And she's like, I gave him the best 8 months of my life. And I thought that was funny. And I also thought was funny was when he goes, you know, we could lay some carpet, if you know what I mean.
That's 2 rooms done. Boy, those corners are tricky.
You know,
She does not know what he means.
yeah. She's actually laying carpet.
I
And
thought
go
when
ahead.
in she's polishing his freaking his lobby,
Yes.
and the thing just gets crazy. She goes, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah, I was gonna say that. You took it from me. You stole my moment.
Exactly what you mean.
That's okay. At least we both appreciate because she goes, fucking, I ain't doing this or whatever. She walks off, and I'm like, is that supposed to have happened, or was she really like, screw this? Like,
I think she probably fucking was like, "Screw this, I'm done." Like,
because for those of you that have never worked a buffer like that, that's no joke. She's not kidding. I mean, the ones
you
that are
really
new, they work pretty well, but the older ones,
you have to get your core strength like
you do.
gauged.
Oh, I mean, I remember being in the army doing the floors, and when the drill sergeant went around, we'd get on top of the thing, and just kind of ride like try to
Yeah.
stay on it.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
yeah. So that was funny.
I thought the line of prisoners, mental assailants, and Texans in the
Yes.
beginning of the movie were like, that's the only people that were allowed to play sports at one point.
Yes.
Like, I thought
Yeah.
that was funny.
I also like the names they gave all the basketball teams, depending on where they were from.
Yes.
Like the New Jersey Informants. The I can't remember all the ones, but very,
Dallas,
very
Dallas
appropriate.
inmates.
Who?
The Dallas inmates.
Yes, like that. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty good.
Uh,
Um,
the I loved it when they go, and first we get jobs and then we get khakis.
yeah.
Like,
See, because what was happening in this movie is the main character obviously is Trey Parker, and neither of these guys can really act, but I think I'm more of a Matt Stone fan, I think, than a Trey Parker fan. Um,
do you know what I found interesting? I'm cutting you off again.
that's okay.
Did you look at their nipples?
No, I mean when she was squeezing out stuff from his nipples, I were.
I'm talking about when they were naked in the
No.
locker room. I Trey Parker, I think, has really big nipples.
Oh, apparently has really big schlong.
Both of them.
Yeah, that was kind of funny when he turned around and like, and she's like, "You both just have a big old egos and drop and cut." But we're skipping to the end because she likes him for some strange reason. He's supposed to be helping the kids out, these sick kids, which I thought was pretty funny when he goes, "We're taking care of the kids that are dying," and she's like, "We don't call them that. We call them survival impaired." I was like, "That's a great word."
This movie is probably an hour too long.
Mm.
But the more that we're talking about it, it's a stupid, silly movie.
It's
You
just a bunch of small clips
Quote,
put together,
yeah,
woven together.
it's like they took little quips of things. Like, here's a funny quip, here's a funny quip. Like, it was always funny.
Yeah, and the thing is that the long parts were the actual basketball games, like trying to be funny. They weren't really funny
That
doing
was
that stuff.
no, it was just stupid. It was
Yes, I mean the mistreatment of Screech or
Squeak,
Squeak. I tell you,
bitch.
I mean the first laugh, I laughed out loud. My fault. It's all this. He goes back there. The dog's back there. The dog's back there. You
I
already know.
I really thought they were like, yeah, he's getting declawed. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, then he gets attacked by a Rottweiler. I'm like, okay, I forget. Okay. Yes, and not only did that Rottweiler kick his ass, he flung him out the backyard like he was a wrestler in the Royal Rumble. He just like he didn't jump out. He was thrown out by the dog. I'm like, jeez.
Is your canine locked up and or safely secured within your domicile?
Yeah, he's at the vet getting his claws removed.
And if you'll excuse me,
Dude, does it just suck being you?
show those guys what sucks.
Oh, yeah, you missed
Ah, Damn
We
it.
said no more journey psychouts. Dude, I'm running out of ideas. Still pretty
Third, it should
No,
be
that's
easier
why
than
we
that.
have this little short shot from over here.
A short shot.
And
That I thought was funny.
and then he had to go back into the backyard, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
What did he
He
forget?
get the ball because he missed the shot.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep, and he got fired from his job. He
So I
ends
had
up
to go live
living.
with them.
Yeah, and they make him his little like dog bed in the corner. He's like, "Well, what if I gotta bring where am I gonna bring
Put
when
a
I
woman in there.
get home?" And he's like, "Can't get chicks."
Yeah. Hey, chicks. You're an asshole. No, not. You're a loser. No, not. Well, you're an asshole. Oh, no. Yeah.
And then spoilers, he finds a chick.
And of course, that Trey says that's not Trey, Matt Stone's character, Marty, whatever his name was. Like, that's a dude. No, it's not. I couldn't tell it was a dude.
No, but then he was like, her beautiful lips, her Adam's apple.
Or shiny Adam's apple. I heard that part. I was like,
As soon as he said that, I was like,
Yeah.
That's a dude.
That's a dude. Which is something that can't be done today because
Nope.
people get canceled for that. Even though it's just a joke, it's not.
It's definitely a time capsule of the 90s.
For sure. I will say that it was pretty boring to me. It had some funny parts until it got towards the center, and then the funny parts got better. And I know we're gonna skip because it's basically them playing sports, trying to win the championship game so they can keep the team and not lose the team to the bad guy.
That is a very key point to this movie. That is the hinging factor of this movie. And the bad guy, Robert Vaughn, he really tried to twist it because he played the two best friends against each other.
He sure did.
Playing on the ego of Matt Stone's character against the
Duck.
and against Coop's
Right.
stern, like, no, this is the way the league is. Nobody makes money.
Right.
And then there was
That one part where he kept trying to talk to Doug and he goes, I gotta quit basketball? No. I need you to convince Coop. Coop got to convert baseball too. Baseball. No. He just starts turning.
we're gonna go play in Dallas?
Yeah.
What?
He's like this guy. His head. He's crying to himself because his head hurts so bad. Because how big of an idiot Doug was. But I tell you where I really, really appreciate it. I didn't laugh, but it was one of those like, I love this part. Is when the sports announcers were describing the playoffs. The 9 months into the playoffs, the Southeast Western semifinal conference. If the whole playoff explanation was wonderful.
I loved Jim Nance in this movie. He was, I was like, bro, you are the NFL commentator, and the shit you're saying on TV right now on my screen is
Just
not
think 5
Jim
years
Nance.
ago, those girls were in grade school. I was like, no, they were not. Those girls are older than 17 or 16. I promise they are. And don't get me wrong, those cheerleaders all look pretty damn good, but 5 years ago they were in high school. Let's say that.
Yes.
I'm saying grade school was that made me go, ew. But that's what they do. That's what these writers do. South Park is known to do that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Well, I didn't pull it off too well here.
And you had a Cartman cameo. You get
His voice.
Yep. And
Yeah,
then
every time they say something, I can almost hear someone else's voice.
I heard a lot of Stan.
I heard a lot of Stan too.
Randy.
But, yeah, Randy, yes.
A lot of Randy.
Yeah.
Whole lot of Randy. And then there was a little bit of Mr. Garrison in there.
I heard Mr. Garrison. Yeah, I didn't realize that Trey Parker did all those voices. I thought they split them up, but it seems like Trey Parker does most of them.
He does. Matt Stone does Kyle's dad, Kenny, Butters.
Butters. Anyways, let's like so they continue on and the best friends get in a fight and Cooper leaves, Parker stays, whatever, and this was the funniest, best part of the whole movie. And that was the 2 minutes with Robert Stack on Unsolved Mysteries.
And we still don't know where Coop is today.
Because for those that don't know, he was an airplane. He was the guy that was talking them down on the airplane.
Oh, okay, yep.
That was an unsolved mystery, and he goes, and Nora Jones, the neighbor who wishes to be not
Unnamed.
unnamed, and then the nosy bitch down the road said that he brought a phone with him, and then he's like, and then the girlfriend's like, you better go find the place that exports little kids the most. You'll find them. So theory number two, he went to Disney World. And then I was like, I was like, when Robert Stack, I was like, I laughed that whole thing. I was like, but they were supposed to have the game the next day, I thought.
Yeah.
So he was gone for less than a day and did all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, and we also totally forgot about the Jimmy in this movie as well.
You mean the Joey, the kid,
Joey, yes.
the
Joey.
young kid? Well, Jimmy from the TV show, yeah.
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 But yeah, we forgot to talk about there's so much
He's mental.
there's so much to talk about in this movie, but I know we have to move on. But like I'm just gonna bring up Lazy Boy,
Yes.
the Joey, sick dying kid,
Mm-hmm.
and the second ball. I wanted to talk about the fucking ball. God damn
Talk
it.
about it.
Okay. Why does Lazy Boy exist? He's the only one that can use Lazy Boy. Everybody else has a painted basketball.
Spalding basketball.
I don't know who the basketball was, but it was essentially a basketball painted white with freaking red lines.
Right.
But Coop played with his Lazy Boy ball that he made. Why is he so fucking special? That's like Tom Brady and the freaking Deflategate bullshit.
Not to mention the way he made it, he used a welding torch. Did I not see that correctly?
Yeah.
What the? It's leather and stuffing. What are you welding?
Right.
What? Oh yes, I actually mentioned that. I actually wrote down right here, Spalding basketball right there. I'm not sure you can see it. So that's the first thing I wrote because he got to use the Lazy Boy. He always picked that 5 years after the fact.
Yep.
And I mentioned Sick Joey right here because he. What do you want? Kill a whole bunch of people by poisoning the water well or whatever.
Evil.
It's like there was something wrong with that kid.
The hospital scene when they fucking kill that kid.
They did. They
They
did.
killed that kid so many times.
And kept bringing him
He
back.
still makes.
Yeah, it's like that scene there. They really didn't need that scene. This movie was an hour and 40 something minutes long. They
Yeah.
could have killed scenes like that and it would have been perfectly fine.
Roadkill cotton tape.
But oh yeah, yeah. What the hell was
Seriously?
that?
And the Richard Petty friggin' cameo. Was that him?
I'm trying to think.
Taxi Cab.
Oh yes, yes, yes. No, that wasn't. That was You know what? Editor, put it down there.
Hey, fuck you!
Get to work. You do anything.
I just do what I'm told. Do what I'm told.
But at the end of it all, they win the game.
Um,
Continuation, home
Reamer,
run, something.
Reamer ends up with Jenny McCarthy.
Yes. And he ends up with Yasmin Bleeth.
Yep.
And Squirt, or whatever his name, he ends up with the woman who we really think is a man.
Yeah.
And everyone's happy. I'm not sure what actually happened to the mean evil boss.
Nothing.
Yeah. Just he didn't get like oh yeah, when Ernest Borgnine died, he got that hot dog in his mouth. He keeps pushing.
Yeah, it almost made me throw up. Every time it went back down, I almost threw up. Every fucking time.
Someone said that little
vomiting.
sucker. They called him a cocksucker. I'm like, I wonder if that's what he did do because that thing went down his throat easy. It came right
Way
back.
too easy. They got Joey drunk.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he didn't need that liver anyway.
No. No, he did. They did bring him to and they went to go play the next day and thrown up in the The
In the
cans.
trash cans, yeah. That almost made me throw up. This movie almost made me throw up so many times.
Yeah, I said I wouldn't know the actual rules of basketball because they weren't consistent.
And you know what? With that, let's go see what the 5-star and 1-star reviews say, huh? The first 5-star review comes from Benjamin S. A silly yet wonderful movie that acts as a time capsule for an era that could make juvenile slapstick jokes into movies and people who would love it. It's been a long-standing movie of mine that I always come back to.
I mean, that's true. I don't know whether that'd be 5 stars worthy, but hey,
Different strokes for different folks, man.
for sure I'm about to cough all over myself. The first 1-star review comes from Victor G. The premise intrigued me, but what is this even about? Watched it long ago, just thought I would share my. I'm not sure what else he was supposed to say there. I obviously cut, pasted, and didn't get it all, but it was very short. There wasn't like share my views, share my thoughts, something he said there.
Didn't share my.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I was pressed for time. So he saw it a long time ago. You can't.
No, you have to rewatch it, sir.
You got to rewatch it and then rate it. You can't watch it from 30 years ago and rate it now. You can't do that.
You know, I'm glad I rewatched it.
Right.
That's a little spoiler for you. The next 5-star comes from Brittany R. I didn't understand what the plot even was. Just watched it for young Matt Stone because he's hot and good movie to watch when you're high. Also, when Matt Stone says, "But this is Brittany's house and I really want to fuck her," he's referring to me because my name is Brittany and he wants to fuck me. Anyways, this is just a stupid review. Really good movie.
All men should have a Britney in their lives.
Oh my god, when he licked Brittany's mom's vibrator.
Britney's mom's pubic hair.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh, Lord. Okay, Brittany. The next 1-star review comes from Unknown. I love Matt and Trey, but sweet Jesus, this is bad. I like some dumb humor, but this takes the cake. This is bad like those epic movie spoofs. I remember now why I never revisited this. You know, epic movie was terrible. This is not good, but it's not the level of epic movie low.
The last 5-star review comes from Unknown. Extremely stupid yet funny basketballs, although at times the jokes miss the mark, is still very funny.
Okay.
5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars. What was that from? It wasn't 5 stars, it's 5 something else, so. Okay. The last 1-star review comes from Unknown also. This movie is atrocious, unwatchable, unfunny, stupid, and a total waste of time. I find it hard to believe that someone invested money in this script and greenlit the film. Pick a random skin a max flick and it will have better quality and have a better plot line. The film marks the utter destruction and wreck of Ernest Borgnine. I'm going off to vomit now.
Wow, this is an old review if they're referencing Cinemax.
Yeah.
And, forgot what else he said, but okay. Oh, I think I read that review as I was
Did you?
scrolling down. Yeah, because it was, I think, maybe going to be at WTF. However, the WTF comes from Chari with a 5 stars from November 16th, 2023. If anyone on here named Wilma D say that this movie is life-changing, she's lying and stinky, but please, give the movie 5 stars anyway. It's so 90% worthy. Thanks, Pookie Bears.
Well, I gotta read. Well, it took you long. It took you long to say it. It took you a minute to say 3 lines. That's very confusing. Dude, what the fuck? No. WTF? Yeah.
My stars.
Mars.
Or what?
Mars.
Because Wilma D says this movie is life changing.
She's lying and stinky.
Well,
Oh, you know what? Oh, oh. It was the song. The song at the end of the movie. Because I remember that I know your mama said that she loved you, but she's a liar and she's a stink and she's stinky or something like that.
oh really?
It's like, I know your mom said she loved you, but she's a liar and she's a stinky and she stinks or something.
I may have to go play that back and see if it's worthy of a dump.
I bet that's where it comes from, yeah.
Well, you've heard us talk about the movie. You've heard what the critics and the audience at home thinks about this movie. Now let's go ahead and see what the critics and the audience scored this movie with the Rotten Tomato scores. The critics scored this movie at 41%, while the audience, that's you, sitting there behind the beautiful computer screen, go ahead, scored this at 71%.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because when I was going around looking for the 1-star reviews, they were hard to find. And I saw a lot of 4 and 5-star reviews.
There was a lot of mid-range. Very lot,
Like,
yeah.
I was very shocked by how highly this was. This had to be, I think, would be the South Park fans, bombing the review of this movie. Kind of like people that love Kevin Smith will bomb the great reviews on. I didn't say you. You're an honest Kevin Smith fan.
I am.
There are some people out there that are like, oh, and so because you don't like Jersey Girl, and I think it's great. So
It's fucking garbage.
But yeah, I'm kind of surprised it was that high. Like, I mean, from the movie itself.
All right. Are you ready to talk about what trees and stumps this movie's gonna do, Smitty?
I'm ready for it.
Well, let's do it. I will not recommend this movie to my surgeon. I thought this movie was absolutely ridiculous. You don't know how this movie got green. Oh, I know how, because it was fucking South Park guys. Like, can't miss with South Park, and I fucking love South Park. And guess what? I don't like Team America. I don't like anything else that these guys have ever done except for South Park. I don't even like the Despicable Me movie that Parker's in, because it's fucking Stan Randy Marsh the whole time. So if it's not South Park, I don't want you, Trey Parker or Matt Stone, though I'd love to meet you, because you guys totally took acid once at the Grammys and made out. And you made out in this movie. Like, y'all made out in this movie. With that in mind, there is a stump boost because at one point the dancers were wearing white shirts and you could see everything, so I'll give it that. And that was a real hard push for me because this movie is all of one tree, but because of the boost, it gets a one tree and a stump from this guy.
Okay. I am not going to recommend this to my surgeon. You didn't mention that it gets a stump boost, but also because penis were shown, they were fake, but they still think they count. The shirts, absolutely, they do get the stump boost for that. So let's keep that in mind when I continue to talk. There, it was okay. I laughed when the dog threw the dude out. That was like, I'm going to WrestleMania. And then little parts like that it was so stupid. I'm like, oh my God, but every 10 minutes or so, something stupid enough to make me laugh came up.
Yes.
So I appreciate it. I cannot appreciate this whole thing because you're right. It's way too long. Cut 30 minutes. You said an hour. I say cut 30 minutes. They can't act, but they wrote this thing. They got some good actors in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the comedy timing was fine. I think the parts where they're actually playing basketball was too long. But I laughed some. So I am going to I was gonna give it 1 tree and a stump, but it gets a stump boost. So I'm actually gonna go higher than you. I'm gonna give it 2 trees.
You know, that's actually kind of shocking for me. I didn't think that you would have liked this movie more than I did.
I did not. It's better than I remember me thinking when I first watched it. I hated it, and it's a good thing we watched it now.
I agree. When I first watched it in '98, I didn't like it, and then I watch it now, and guess what? I still don't. But you've heard what we thought about this movie. What's your rating? How many trees or stumps would you give this movie? Go ahead and drop it in the comments below. We appreciate you for watching us. Go ahead and hit that like button if you don't mind. And you know what? Maybe share it with a friend or two, because we appreciate you at home. And until next time, we'll see you here at Trees in Space on Monday morning.
What?